Can you add me to
Today,
translation?
yes, today's training is literally, let me just get the translation going. 1 second. Today's topic is going to be very interesting because, all right, Maria, you're all set. Egan, to all my friends, at least Alitza is going to be able to hear Maria. Anyways, today's topic, as you saw, what Dino posted in our group is the cost of staying small. And before I get into that topic, I would love for you to tell me if you remember our how do you say, our last training we had, our leadership training. How many of you remember last week on Wednesday? We had a really great time. Let me see. Type it here in the chat if you remember it, or just say yes, I do remember it, or no. Alrighty, so yes, you remember it. And I want you to tell me what is the biggest takeaway you had from last week's training on leadership training, because this training was designed for leaders, but specifically for those of us who are actually building an NH Global, in a professional way. Let me just all right, my sincere apologies. Let me just get all the notifications out. Alrighty, righty. Okay, we're turning this off. My apologies. All right. So, going back to the topic, how many of you remember what is the biggest takeaway? Let me read here in the chat. What is the biggest takeaway that you have in terms of the last training? What do you remember the most? What is the thing that you think that is the biggest takeaway? What is a takeaway, like the biggest thing you learn from our training with Dino and me, or leadership training? I would like to see. Let me check. Who says me? What is the biggest takeaway? Come on, don't be shy. Yes, don't drink. Well, I'm not saying don't drink forever, but just be present, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. That's so funny. But it is the truth. I'm gonna tell you, like, in terms of that, don't drink, believe in yourself, the ego. Let me see. I'm gonna translate, Alitza, so I can understand what you're saying. But give me a sec. Because I want everybody to participate. I want to make sure that I'm able to actually, understand. Just give me a second. I'll go back to these topics. The ego is a leader's greatest enemy. Yes. Drinking, of course, it's not cool, but that is funny that you mentioned that, uh, Alexander, but I want to tell you why I said it. Now that we're in a very, more like smaller setting, there's not a lot of people here. So it's good. It's good that we kind of like dissect or go step by step in terms of understanding different topics. Today, our topic is, the cost of staying small, which has to do with leadership and has to do with how we think and how we do the things. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. There is nothing more beautiful than growing. Wouldn't you agree? Just like type here in the chat if you agree with me that growing is amazing. Growing is beautiful. Let me see. Yes. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Growing requires for you to have pain. Growing requires for you, thank you, Alitza, everybody, Daniela, Alexander, Maria, thank you. It requires for you to experience a bit of, either embarrassment, because when somebody corrects you, or maybe nobody's correcting you, but then you realize that you probably messed up in business, and you're like, oh, so I was not supposed to do that. And then you realize, okay, so that was not okay. It's embarrassing. Sometimes you need to go through pain, embarrassment, through hardships. Hardships could be not pain and no embarrassment, but you learn, you mess up, and the hardship it could be that you have less customers or that less people are engaging in the business, and that those are hardships. And what would you rather have as a learning experience? And I want to ask honestly here to all of us, what would you rather have? To learn from actually making a mistake and then having to pay the consequences of not having enough customers, or you would rather have the learning experience? There's three types. I want to tell you what are the three types of learning experiences. One, Tony Robbins says that it's only two. I think it's not two, it's three. We learn by doing and making mistakes, which is the most like the costliest way to learn. That you mess up, you probably lose a relationship with people, probably lose customers, probably lose income in network marketing. That's the costliest way to learn. Second one is when you see somebody else making a mistake and you learn from a story, or you learn from your mentor, you learn from seeing the people in your team or the people in other companies make mistakes, and you see the results. I think that this is one of the easiest way to learn, because now you're seeing what happened to a person that had a big ego, or what happened to a person that didn't have integrity, or what happened to a person that didn't believe in himself or herself. Now, and the third one, and I think is the most beautiful way to learn, is when you have a person, a mentor, when you have the company showing you examples of what to do and what not to do, and you learn. Like, but you have to be open. This third way, I believe that requires for all of us to be humble and to listen and to just sit down and say, you know what? Maybe my way is not the best way when it comes down to talking to people or to finding new customers or treating my team in a certain way, or handling rejections or handling problems in the company. It takes a big deal of being humble. You need to take out the ego, but that is the easiest and fastest and cheapest way to learn. Well, I will not say cheap if you have to pay for training. Like that was for me, like I'm gonna tell you, just a real life example. I learned in network marketing through 8 years of how to build a large organization, but it was through a lot of pain. So I messed up a lot of things, relationships, I messed up on my the way that people perceive me, because some people up until today, they know the Danny of 15, 20 years ago, but they don't know Danny today. And that, my friends, took, and if people say, well, no, Danny owns a company, she's in the Hall of Fame, yes, but when those people that I messed up because I was not at the level that I was supposed to be, and it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Those people don't like me. And, unfortunately, it doesn't matter how much I ask for forgiveness, some people are never going to forgive you. So, some people know me as the Danny that messed up things, and I messed up relationships with some partners, with some distributors that were my friends. Now, I then learned through experience from watching other people, my cross lines. I learned it, my own way, trying to do things how I thought I was supposed to do things. Now, the moment that I started going to trainings, and the beautiful thing about our company, and it is sad that many people don't appreciate it, is that you have training, world-class training from Dino and from myself. And I say it with a lot of humbleness. And we paid thousands. I'm not gonna even put a number of, dollars or euros spent on trainings so you can learn. Why? Because, we had experiences, but more than that, the moment that I started investing, like paying money, investing into going to trainings, listening to other leaders worldwide, listening to other trainers. The moment that I started going out of my home country and I went into, Europe or Asia, and I started listening to people that knew more than me, and I even paid them. I paid Eric Worre and many other trainers to be able to teach me. Now, that is when I saw that type 1 and 2 ways of learning is very expensive because I messed up relationships and I lost income. And yes, I could learn, but that is more expensive than you actually going and getting trained. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? And Alexander says that I can relate to this. Does it make sense? Now, I'm gonna tell you one thing before I go into the training. Some of you here who come every single week, you have world-class training, and it's not because I'm so great or so amazing or Dino is, but we bring the training that we paid thousands of dollars to be at, to actually receive it. Just Eric Worre, just to be in his mastermind, you need to pay $40,000 a year to be able to attend. Just like that. Just nothing else. You need to, if you want to attend his mastermind, first of all, you need to be a person that is making 6 figures or of above. Which what's 6 figures? More than 100,000 euros in income per year. You need to qualify. And then you need to pay him. Okay? Some people say, well, that's crazy. Well, if you know that you can get a shortcut by paying that amount, you pay it. If you know what I mean, if you are invested, of course, maybe you're making 50 euros, maybe you're making 100 euros a month with NH Global. But I'm just telling you this so you can picture what can be possible for you and what you should be doing. The moment that you start making money is not for you in NH Global more than you actually spend for your regular daily living. You should be putting money to invest in yourself with different trainers. I'm not gonna tell you who. However, the advantage that you guys have, and I don't know, I don't speak, too much about this, but I think I should. You should promote these trainings with Dino and with me, like if you're promoting a Hall of Fame people in network marketing, because we are. And we actually are asked to go and train people in Asia and in different places. But when it comes down to NH Global, it is sad. And not because of you, but the other people that don't come, but because they don't know that there is so much value. Because we bring you for free, and I think we should charge people to be trained. The information that we acquire through experience, which is the most expensive information, and through paying different trainers. Fraser Brooks, we've gone to Rob Sperry, we've gone to many, many, many places. Now, you're getting it for free because you are part of NH Global. We don't do trainings for any other companies. We do generic trainings whenever they ask us to speak, like for Ted Naughton in the Business for Home publication. We do different things, but it's very minimal. Even we have limited our speaking engagements because we're focused 100% in our community. And we want you to have the top of the top and not everybody else. Because we can train people and we can even train our competition. So we don't want that. I mean, we give out with a heart of abundance, but I would much rather train you guys and your team than training a random person that is not even a part of your company. Yes, thank you so much, Oyobola. Thank you. But listen to this. Now that we have established the ways of learning, there is a very costly price for you to think small. Very costly price. Why do I say this? And it's because, whenever you think, well, I don't deserve this, I don't think that I'm good enough, or maybe just, you just want to do it your way. Like when you don't listen to mentors, and in this case your sponsor, or if you don't have a good sponsor and they quit the business, in this case the company, which is me and Dino, if you don't take correction or advice, it's gonna be very sad for you, not for us. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing: we will be here, of course. If people decide to do crazy things, I'm gonna be very honest. We uh do not invest time and resources in our presence when people are not committed. We don't. We just distance ourselves. That's what you're supposed to do as well. If you have some people in your team and they are not actually focused, you should not be just even getting any attention to those people. To be very honest, to be very transparent, because why would you, or why would any of us give time, give attention to any person that is not actually delivering their promises, which are, yes, I'm gonna listen to you, I'm gonna be doing this, and then they don't come through. Would you love, or would you like to give from your precious time taken away from your wife or husband or significant other or family or kids for a person that later on is not going to even listen to you? Would you love to do that? Just type here in the chat, and I'm sure that not many of us will be wanting to do that, right? Okay. So with that said, there are three ways that we can actually learn, and there is a high cost of staying small. There is a high cost that involves, all of us, just thinking small. And you know what is that? That cost is nothing else but, not growing. Whenever you are you do not come and say, you know what, I'm going to just do things my way because this is how I know that I can do things. But I don't think that Dino knows what he's talking about. I don't think that Alexander knows what he really is saying. I don't think that Maria or Tunde or anybody understands me. I don't think that they know that I know how to build in Hungary or in, I don't know, in Serbia, in Macedonia, in different countries. I don't think that any of them know our culture. So you think, that when you know it all, or when you think you know it all, that's the biggest toll that your business will take. Because I'm going to tell you one thing: whenever you think that you know more than your sponsor or the company, eh, it's like whenever you're about to have a clash in your business, because it is the worst thing that can happen to you. Now, I'm gonna just show you some of, before going into our training, I have our recognitions, because we do have our top enrollers, and I would like to really recognize them. And if you have people who are a part of the top enrollers, or a part of anybody that actually has rank advancement, I'm going to ask you or invite them, even if they don't understand, so they can be recognized, because it is beautiful. It is very beautiful to actually get to recognize people. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing: how many of you, and then maybe yes, very true, how many of you know that some people are doing network marketing, or they're promoting our products or our company because they They just want to be recognized. How many of you know that? Just say me or type number one if you know it, or if you don't know it, if you didn't even think about this, you can just put a number 0. If you just like, you're like, oh, really? Does that matter? Yes, it matters. Just type it here. I want to see it. All right. Alrighty. Let me see. Yes, Tunde, Maria, Lydia, yes, I'm gonna tell you why. Some people, and this is a secret I discovered. Well, it's not a secret, but I discovered this. I didn't even know that this was such an important thing for people until one of my mentors showed me. One of my mentors, her name is Lisa Grossman. She's not doing business anymore. I think she's retired from network marketing, but she's amazing. And she told me, Danny, some people will not care if they make $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, $100,000, but they want to be recognized. They just want somebody to mention their name. So it is really also an advantage for you if you bring people to this type of trainings, because people are gonna actually get to be recognized, and it's beautiful, even if they don't understand a word of what I'm saying. Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and get these people recognized before we go into our topic. And we have Annan from Macedonia. He's doing amazing. He has sponsor 4 people with 453 business volume. We have Dafina from Montenegro with 3 personal customers, brand new ones with 135 business volume. We also have Lydia Thomas. Ooh, is Lydia in the house? I think she is. Let me see. Lydia. Ooh, Italy is in the house, man. Italy, Lydia, congratulations. We're gonna just rave on it. Let's give her a big clap because she's here at number 5, and we're gonna do it big. If people who are a part of the recognitions are in this type of trainings, we will bash you with congratulations. Bravo, Lydia. Yes, heart emojis. Give her some love. Number 5 as a as a virtual clap. Just help me with some fives. Lydia, man, I know you're in Italy, but you have Nigeria just flowing through your veins. So it's not only Italy, but it's also Nigeria in the house. Anyways, we have Nadia from Switzerland with 2 personal customers, Arnesa from Bosnia with 2 personal customers. We have Sanya Ragusa with from Croatia with 2 personal customers. We have Amela from North Macedonia with 2 customers. We have Jasna Pilic from Serbia with 2 customers. We have Enisa from Switzerland with 1 customer, and we have we also have another beautiful lady from Italy. Is she here? Amabella. Amabella, you are here. You see this? She is a top 10, enroller. Congratulations, Amabella. You probably sold what? Tell us what you sold. Tell us what is this customer, what did they buy? Because that's 220. Half of what the top enroller did, which is, 453 business volume. Please tell me. Tell us, what is that your customer purchased? Let me see. Amabella, congratulations. Congratulations, Amabella. Let me see. And I think Maria is so happy because they're part of her team. Maria, are they part of your team? Like, can you confirm here? I think so, right? Yes or no? Amabella. Ooh, bravo, Amabella. Bravo. Bravo, señora. Okay. So she's probably not hearing me, but whenever you see her, tell her to tell us what she sold because it's incredible. So congratulations, everybody. We're going to bring the new rank advancements very soon. Right now, we're going to go in straight to our training. Our team's still working in rank advancements. So you will see them posted very soon in our groups. Now, what is the cost of staying small? And it took me 30 minutes to get here, but I promise you, if you stay with me for the next 10, 15 minutes, we're gonna be done. She sold 2 family pack. Oh my, Amabella. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. And I want to for you to give this to your team, because I know we have 2 people who have large teams, which is incredible, Alexander and Maria. Please broadcast this to your teams in your language. Do not wait for a promotion. We might not even have it, to be honest. Like, there's people asking support, Dino and me and everybody, and in the groups, when is going to be the promotion and the Black Friday. We want to make sure that you understand that we don't do promotions in a regular basis. And we have seen, disclosure that people have abused promotions, and then the market gets diluted. There was like an example, a few weeks back where we're not gonna say names because we're gonna love people, but we still are going to point out the behavior. People took, the anniversary promotion, they stock up, and then they were selling our products under the price. And that is why we stepped back and said, you know what, maybe that's not something that is going to benefit our partners when they're promoting from their own link, when somebody's retailing. We don't care if you retail or people that you are in business with retail. We don't recommend it. But if they do retail on their price, it's not cool. And so that's why one of the reasons why we're not so crazy about doing promos, because these promos are supposed to be for customers, not for people trying to lower the price and get ranks and get, all those things. This is not cool. But anyways, um, Maria and Alexander, make sure you communicate it. We're probably not having a promo anytime soon. So you see Amabella, she got 2 family packs. She sold them to a person, not to retail, but to a person or to a customer. And whatever you do with those things, it is your problem, if you are doing retail, but make sure that you are respecting your fellow peers and the company's policies and procedures, and you're not lowering the price and spoiling the market. So going back to the cost of staying small, I'm going to tell you one thing. There is a highly cost whenever you stay small, whenever you are actually thinking, well, I don't I don't want, to make a lot of money, because I'm okay, I'm okay. This is the biggest killer of an entrepreneur. Whenever you realize that you think that you can pay all your bills and you're okay and you don't have to grow, this is very dangerous, super dangerous. So what is the cost? You're gonna get to see it. There's a hidden cost. You can see like all the little hands here, but it starts with you losing respect for yourself, losing respect for other people. And not only that, but you are diluting your leadership when you don't grow. Now, what does it mean to grow? And what do I mean for us to really aspire to get to a point where we can say, you know what, I'm growing. Even if you just got started with us a few days ago. There are 3 levels of leadership, and I could say that there are more, but for the sake of this training, we're gonna just keep it to 3. Emotional follower, that's, we start right there. Most of us, why? Because we got excited, or somebody, and just if you identify yourself with me, say yes or put number 2 in the chat. Have you ever started, or did you start in network marketing or in our company as an emotional follower? I did, just to be honest, just because I was excited. I said, you know what? I don't have to have employees. Ooh, that sold me on it. Yes. Yeah. All right, Ovejola, who else? Who else identify himself or yourself with me? Type number, 2, or the level number 2 of leadership. It is a committed builder. It is somebody that takes ownership and focuses on the team's progress. As an emotional follower, you lack of personal responsibility and you seek for external validation. Yes. Thank you so much, Oyebola. And the third one is a visionary leader, inspires others while cultivating a strong culture. I'm gonna tell you, that there I have seen, and some of you are on chats where you're gonna get to know not from the situation or the person that I'm talking about, but you're gonna get to see what I'm picturing and what I'm saying. An emotional follower, when I was telling you there are three types of way of learning through mistakes, through examples of other people, and through a mentor. An emotional follower will most likely learn from making mistakes. And since they're emotional and they don't have personal responsibility for their actions, or they lack personal development, and when they don't get the external validation, or when they don't get the pat on the back if they just fuck up something, I'm very sorry, very visual, and somebody comes and calls them out, immediately they will quit, they will leave groups, they will cuss out, they will say things instead of having a humble heart to say, you know what, I mess up, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna just step up and say, you know what, I'm sorry, guys. I think I didn't realize it was a mistake, but I want to learn. This is what a committed builder does. This is what a visionary leader does. And of course, there's also types of leaders. You cannot be messing out people by making them feel miserable. You need to be kind when you point out a mistake. But an emotional leader will always feel attacked, will always feel entitled, will always feel like, if oh, so my mentor or the company said this is because I'm doing something wrong. Maybe you are, but do not let emotions in business, emotions and business doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. It never does. When you're doing business, you need to be very careful. And this is why network marketing, it is such an easy business to do, but it's also such a hard thing to do and stay committed to. Because if you're emotional, and when you get rejections, and when you get, I don't know, somebody stole a customer, or somebody uh called you out, or your mentor told you you're not doing the right thing, or when you are causing up a person, or being ugly in a chat, in a group chat, and you get called out and you get angry, you are gonna quit. I'm gonna tell you, that's why everything, and I'm gonna show you, if you have problems with a person, instead of bringing it to a chat, you go directly to the person. If the person doesn't listen, you go and get to the person and the sponsor, and you solve the things before bringing it to a chat. Yes. And if you're a leader, and if you see, and I know there are some examples here because I've been in the middle of some of these things. Okay, let me see. Daniela, I started after I sort of realized how the refined helped my father with dementia and Alzheimer. Yes, but let me tell you one thing. Emotion, I'm not talking about you buying a product, because this is very different. I'm talking about leadership. That's how I started, because I didn't want to have employees. Now you started because you saw a result, which is powerful. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You need to evolve and learn, because if you're doing, the business, Daniela, I'm going to tell you one thing. If you do the business just because one person got results and it's amazing. My dad also had early stages of dementia and he is doing better. But the moment that somebody that is a part of your business is not having results, and you're basing emotion to build your business, you're going to be very disappointed, because there are many people, many individuals that don't have the same results. Many individuals. Yes, and bravo, Daniela, for learning and for being here. That shows that you are evolving, and you will eventually have a really good business if you learn, if you do, if you stay humble, if you, instead of having a title, or a star, 8-star partner, or 9-star partner, or 13-star partner. And look at me, I am so amazing. But if you're humble and you don't care about the titles and the stars and things, you will succeed in anything you do. So, anyways, going back to this thing, you know, uh, an emotional follower, another example of an emotional follower will be anyone that can just, you know, gets carried away. You know, there are examples, there are other examples that we can very much know. There could be there was, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. There was like in one of our productions, there was a uh you know, couple products, not many, like probably two or three orders, where customers actually receive refined, and refined had just plain water, like with some sweetener. And we took this out to our manufacturer, and they recall all these things, which mean we actually got to either refund or replace our customers with, you know, another bottle of Revive. I'm gonna tell you one thing, how this went. From one person being completely emotional. It's like, okay, so I'm not getting results. This is a really great example, Daniela, for you, because your dad is having results and this and the other. Now, they see that the bottle, like these people, and bless their heart, and I hope that they sometimes in the future they come back. They left the business because of one bottle. Then they thought that the entire production of refine and the entire company was diluting the, you know, the products, and we were just, what is the benefit, guys? Just type here in the chat. Do you think that we want to take out ingredients from refine or any other product for us to make more money and just make people think that they're getting benefits, and we just have water with sweetener and a little bit of coloring? Do you think that that's what we do? Just type here in the chat yes or no. That's not what we do. They went to the extent to wanting to take these things to a lab, and, you know, not only that, to prove that our product didn't work. And this is how emotional leaders work. No, I mean, there's no benefit on me um, doing anything such. There's no benefit on me or Dino. Why? Why would we want to give you guys the worst of the worst? I mean, we're not lacking in finances. I'm very confident on that. We're not, I mean, no production in the world, no manufacturer that has, because you can't even open a manufacturer if you don't have certifications, can let you put in the market something that is not good. Yes, they did a mistake on a couple of bottles. They replaced those bottles to us so we could replace it to our customers. We even went to the extent to give them free, another bottle extra for free. And it was a disaster. An entire team left. So I want you to understand, you need to lead with no emotions, because if you objectively understand what is happening, and I'm going to tell you specifically with any food supplement or medications, your body, Daniela, and very much pay attention to this, your dad's body, my dad's body, and everybody is different. I can take refine and get great results today, and specifically because, you know, it's an herb. But maybe in a few days my hormone levels are going to change. My I'm just gonna give you an example. I think I need to give you an example. I'm gonna show you here some pictures. I am doing IVF at the moment. I had a blood clot because of IVF, so 3 months I was taking injections on my belly, and it's all bruised, so I have my belly all bruised. I have done more than, you know, 20 IVF cycles. We have some good embryos, which are potentially babies, and we're storing those things. Every single time, every single time, I actually inject myself with medications. Not, don't talk about, you know, refine or enhance or any other food supplement. I get a freaking different results. And I want to show you. And I asked the doctor, well, why don't I get the same results? Why don't I get the same hormones every single time I go in? Would I get so? disgusting to tell my doctor why he's prescribing me one medication, which is extremely expensive, at least here in the United States. One pen of that medication cost around $1,500. Yes, one pen. And I use one or two sometimes on my cycles. And it's the same medication. Now, I have some blood tests and my hormones are completely different. And he explained me when I was learning through the things, he explained me, your body will not be doing the same thing this month, next month, last year. It depends on your age, depends on, the state of your cells. So every single month, you're going to have different results. You cannot have the same results. You understand this? Yes, it's very expensive. So, but in Europe, most countries cover these treatments, not in the United States. It is a luxury to do IVF. Yes, it's different. So imagine you have Refine today, and today it can do really good, but maybe you have a day where you are completely messed up, completely messed up. And I have had those days where I don't sleep enough, I'm stressed, and even if I take Refine, I feel okay, but sometimes I don't feel anything. And that is completely normal. Or you're doing really well and you feel nothing. With Refine, my friends, I feel nothing, nothing. It helps me with, managing stress better, but I don't feel completely anything. But then you have Daniela's dad and you have my dad, which have a condition. They might improve. Some people, even with the same results, same batch of Refine, might not feeling anything tomorrow. It is not a medication. Yes, it's different from perimenopause and menopause with hormones and every. Yes, you nailed it. And I'm not in perimenopause and talking about IVF or in menopause. And the medications I get have put me into perimenopause some months when I'm taking the medications for IVF. And then they have to restart my cycle because my body messed up. My brain, my pituitary gland was not at the best because of whatever reason. And they cannot explain it. Like, just explain me how can I, like talking about Refine, have the same effects happening in my body when it's an herb and it's something natural. If it does not happen with medications, much less with an herbal product. Now, that is why we need to lead with proper expectations. We are not doctors because I've seen people fighting over dosages for children and for different people. And you know what? We are not here to provide any medical advice. So that's why, emotionally, you can't lead with emotions. You can lead with facts and vision. Hey, it might not work for you. It has worked for me, but you need to try it. You need to give it a try so you can see how it works for your body. So that's why, leading with emotions will never help you. Now, going back to this example, and I wrap it up so you can understand, I'm not talking bad about anybody. I love everybody. But these people went into an emotional rant of, the entire company is completely bad, like the entire product. And it's like, okay. So we kindly told them, well, find another product that you might like. We actually came to the point where, you know what? Maybe this is not for you. If you're leading with emotions, this might not be the best solution for you because food supplements do different things. So out of one person, an entire team collapsed because the leader was not strong enough to lead with vision, to lead with facts. So don't let that happen to you. A beautiful business, a beautiful person, just because of one emotion, just everything completely came down crumbling. And I hope and I pray that they do good wherever they go. And we're always welcoming people back. We will never shut doors, even if they said things that they should have said. We love everybody because that's why we created NH Global, so people can have a place which is safe. Even if they come back The doors will always be open. We understand that we have emotions, but do not lead with emotions. Let me read here. Sanya, our body is the most complex mechanism that no one has yet managed to fully explore. That's true. Nor will they soon, and we poison it every day with all possible sites: air, water, food, soil, industry, medicines, cosmetics, detergents. Yes. And our organism tries to defend itself. So now if we don't give it fuel, we only exhaust it more and more and make it to create diseases. So now everyone has a better or worse machine. This is the truth. She nailed it. Tanya, bravo. Bravo, my friend. It is the truth. So imagine you leading with emotions and having people expect a result when they will not get the same result the next month. The only person you're damaging is yourself, your business, your reputation, because you are giving a person like wrong expectations. The moment that the person or the customer or some customers don't have a result that you promise, they will leave, and then you're gonna be like questioning the vision, the company, when it's not that. It's that you don't know what the person put in his body or her body. You have no clue. Like, honestly, I've had many examples when, I've had customers telling me, well, this doesn't work, this. It's like, okay, let's slow down. Are you sick? Yes. Have you been taking Refine for, 3 or 4 days? No, I did not. I just took it once and I don't feel anything. And I'm like, and then proper expectations. You see, this is a food supplement. Yes. And then they come to the realization of, oh, okay, so it might not be that. And then they realize, well, I'm actually, I had a virus and I did this. And I'm like, okay, so this is not a medication, and maybe you should ask your doctor. And then they're like, oh, so it's not this, it could be something else. But when you lead with emotion, people who are emotional, leaders, well, people who are not leaders, they cause people out. They tell them you're wrong, you are stupid, and you don't know how to use the product, and you need to follow my instructions. This way of leading will cause you a disaster, and eventually you will not be in business for very long. Now, going further, because I don't want to be too long here, the committed builder starts taking responsibility. And you need to aim to be a visionary leader. You might not be there yet. And you know why? Because you need to have the income to prove that. And I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. In our industry, it doesn't matter that you make 1,000 euros a month. That's nothing. That's like not even, you're not started. If you do not make more than 5,000 euros a month or 6,000 euros a month in your business, you have not gotten started professionally. You have not. You are in, the face of a builder, but after, these are measurable scientific numbers, not from me, from Jim Brown and from so many other leaders. Eric Worre, he's one very big trainer that shows that leadership is measured by the level of income. Unfortunately or fortunately, if you don't want to receive it, it's not me, it's Eric Worre and all those trainers. So if your income is less than 5,000 euros a month, you have a long road to grow, because usually in our industry, leaders who are making 5,000, 10,000 euros or more are, start level leadership in our industry. For you to get to the Hall of Fame, it's not only about income, it goes beyond. It goes beyond your reach, your humbleness, your ego, which is very, very low, and also the way that you're helping not only your community and your company and your customers, but the entire world, your impact. And if you're not there yet, my friends, that's why we need to learn how to be better leaders. Now, a committed builder takes responsibility and tracks results. What can I do better? They ask, what can I do better? Learns and apologizes fast and stays focused. If you can't apologize for a mistake and be humble, you're not ready to make more than 5 grand in this 5,000 euros in our industry. You're not ready. You're not, and you will never be ready, and you will always be broke. And I'm sorry to say that, but I don't want you to be broke. That's why you need to be humble. You want to be rich? Be humble. Really rich. No, in a good way. Abundant. Be humble. Sanya is also saying, thank you. I'm a nutritionist, and I try to explain it to a lot of people in a simple way. Yeah, it's hard. That's why it's really good. And unfortunately, we had to cancel our health talk yesterday. We're gonna combine the beauty talk and the health talk for Mondays, most likely, just to be able, because people have told us that it's too much, and we understand that. So we're gonna combine it. Thank you so much for this comment, Sania, and I'm gonna go back. Now, the visionary leader has a purpose behind the paycheck, has a commitment, has legacy, the legacy agenda. And they lead by example, not by emotion. They protect the team. You have a large team, Alexander, Maria, and some of you. If you see something snapping or in a group, you are supposed to come in and mitigate the damage, not the company. And I'm not saying that you have done anything wrong. I'm just preventing you for whenever something happens. You are the leader. You protect the team culture. You're supposed to be the soldier that comes to protect the sheep, to protect the people from negativity. If somebody's being negative, you maybe call them out, immediately. Hey, why don't we just erase this from the group, or why don't we just leave this topic for the person that is directed to? Let's deal with it privately. Or let's say that somebody gets angry because, I don't know, whatever the company or another leader said. You're the one that needs to be mediating things and de-escalating things. When people start just offending and getting angry and insulting people, you need to be the one that says, you know what? Let's abide by these rules in our group. If you don't have rules in your group, you need to create them. And those are, we're not taking offenses. If you have something against somebody, just take it personally to them. If it's something that is going to benefit everybody, then yes, bring it. And always let people talk. Don't cut them off. Don't say that, or shut them up. You're not supposed to talk to me like that. No, let them talk. Even if they mess up, and be kind. If you are a visionary, you do this. You also invest in personal growth every single day. How? Go to YouTube. You don't have to pay anybody if you don't have the finances yet, but you want to be a visionary leader. And the last but not the least, we have, I have some notes here, but I don't want to take it too long. An emotional, well, let's go ahead and go for it. Can we agree we can go another 5 minutes? Can you guys, are you guys okay? Just type here in the chat yes or number 4. Yes or number 4 if you want to go further. Okay, perfect. Level 1, emotional follower. Requires validation. They want to be in contact with the company all the time. I just want to reach out to Danny or Dino, and I need to ask him, and I need to do this, and I need to be validated by them or by my sponsor. I need to constantly be, and what about this? And what about that? And what about the other? There's nothing wrong with having calls with your sponsor, nothing. But if you're constantly requiring attention, you will never grow. I mean, come on, go and work. Offenses, they get easily hurt by feedback from people, the company, or from anybody. They lead with defensiveness, and bless their heart. Maybe they're hurt. Maybe, they have trauma. But, people who do not heal, people who do not grow, they will never make money. They will always be or retailers, or, you will always make only 100 euros, or maybe 1,000 euros like every now and then, but that's it. You're not going to grow. So grow. Yes, you need to take ownership of your business, as Oyebola is saying. Motivation. They act only when they're driven by external encouragement. Like if somebody's clapping on them, or if they achieve a rank of 3, 4, 5 star rank and everybody's cheering for it, that's only when they can do things. This is very dangerous. Level 2, committed builder, they take responsibility, take ownership of the team outcomes. They seek solutions, practical solutions, and they track progress. Now, a visionary leader, as I was telling you, is somebody that is purpose driven. They're completely independent, but also embracing their vision, and they're fostering a sense of community and collaboration with people, not dividing people. Like when you have a visionary leader, you will see that they don't care if you're crossline or not. They will know they will know that at some point they will cash in from the ownership bonus, which means that they get paid commissions. If you're 8, 9, or 10 star partner or above, you will get paid commissions from the entire company. Yes, you will get dividends. So if you're a visionary, you're not thinking who is in whose team. You're thinking long term. You're thinking, hey, I might not get paid right now to be a nice person or to help this person, but in the future I will. In the future, even if they're in another team, they're going to be a part of my team, because I will get to this rank. I will get to be this leader that I know that I am, with my actions, with the growth of my team. And I want to give you five habits to foster growth. Number one is you need to protect your mind. You need to prioritize clarity and positive thinking every single day. It is proven that when you go into venting, or I'm just speaking my truth, I'm just saying it like it is, or you're complaining, it is proven that your brain goes in the same mode as if when you're fighting with somebody or when you are experiencing violence. It's the same thing. Your brain doesn't recognize that is you just complaining or you experiencing violence, and you will attack people and you'll be ugly and you'll go into a negative mode. Number two, feed your spirit, whatever religion you practice, but you need to engage in activities that inspire and uplift you. That could be not only spiritual things, it could be helping your community in something, helping the orphans, helping, those who don't have the blessings that you have, helping your neighbor. Like maybe your neighbor is going out of town, watch their pets, do something that leaves a good mark in this world. Discipline your words. Choose your words carefully. They shape your reality. When you cuss, and sometimes I do, and I'm guilty of that, but you cuss people out, you're cussing your own life. You need to uplift your team. If somebody messes up, don't go and smash them with your words. Be kind, but correct them. Correct them with love and lead them into wanting to correct their behavior. Sharpen your skills. That's, number 4. You need to continuously seek to learn things through courses, through practical experience, through these trainings. And the last and not the least, you need to serve others. You need to help others to create a positive impact in our community. Yes, if you have a way that your team can get together to do good, not because of NH Global, but just because your team wants to give back to the community, do so. You can also give away products. You can gather donations. Hey, we're gonna go to the nursing home where all the old people are. Let's go once a month, once every 4 months, and let's bring them joy. Let's bring, the orphans joy. When you do that, man, your reach will expand, because out of those connections, people will see that you're a businessman or woman, and you will have impact. And then people are going to start recommending you. If you do not know where people are and you do not have enough contacts, go and do good to the world. People will recommend you because they'll see your heart. I don't have any money to give. It doesn't matter. You have time. You have time to go and visit people in, the nursing homes, in different places. You don't have to have finances to be a good person or to be a great human being. And with that, I will leave you because I think that I am not going to be going forward because it's too late. But I'll bring you the rest of the training next week, and I'm gonna leave you with this. Is there anybody that wants to say something or has questions? Go ahead and do so. Let's see. Anybody? Okay. Thank you, Oyebola. Oh, muy bien. Thank you so much. Awesome. Awesome. We will see you and thank you to everybody for the kind words. Yes, we will keep on learning, teaching our teams, and being better every single day. If you have large teams, go and just put them in line, but with love. Don't just let themselves kill each other, or don't assume that the company or Dino is gonna step in. Go and be the leader you are because you matter. And how you solve situations in your team matters on how your business will grow. Don't let anybody else tell you that you can't lead, that you are not qualified. You are qualified, more than qualified, most of you. And I will say, like, with confidence, that all of you who have come to different trainings, you are more than qualified. So I leave you with this. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next week. We have a second part. From my heart, we're gonna be talking about, the cost of thinking small. Second part, because there's more slides. So, but I was not able to finish them today. Have a great night wherever you are, and I love you very much. And we'll see you. Bye.